What's good, everybody? Welcome to Candid Konvos. I'm your host, Quates Price. We got Chloe on deck. We got Vince on deck. Say what's up to the people.
Good evening.
Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday.
For sure. We back again for another Wednesday show to get it in. Let's see, we appreciate everybody rocking with us consistently every Wednesday night. Like I said, let me start out right out the gate. I need everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Let's see, we are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook right now. So definitely like, share, and subscribe at the Kandid Konvos page on Facebook and also on YouTube. But like I said, once again, we appreciate everybody rocking with us. Drop us a comment. Let us know where you're representing from. Check in with us. Just let us know you are here. So, how's y'all week been going so far?
I can't complain. I can't complain. It's pretty good.
All right, good. How about you, Vince? What's
Good,
been going on, man?
Good.
Okay, all right. You looking like some new money over there. What's going on, man? Oh man. Well, yeah, no, I will say this. This has been a busy week. A lot going on. It seems like it never stops. Shout out to Kenyatta. She said, hey everyone. Shout out to Kenyatta. What's up with you, Kenyatta? We appreciate you rocking with us. What up though? My man Donovan, what's good, brother? Appreciate you checking in. We got the dynamic duo on with us tonight. So we appreciate that. That as always. Well, I don't know, Vince, you want to kick us off, man? You got anything on us that you want us to put us up on tonight, man?
I have the Christian Dior Savage. This is a nice scent you put on, when you got your jeans and your blazer on and you're feeling real manly and masculine. This is the scent at all your fine luxury retailers.
There it is. Just based off of that, I got a question. I know we got a couple of ladies watching right now. I got a question for the ladies. Ladies, what do y'all prefer? A man in a suit or a man in jeans and a blazer? I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
I mean, do we have to choose one?
Jeez. Y'all just can't never just...
Okay. If I have to, if you're gonna make me choose one, then obviously I'm gonna choose the man in the suit.
Okay. All right. I thought I would ask. I said, any ladies out there, let me know what you say to that question. Do you want the man in the suit or you want the man in the jeans and the blazer? So I'm just curious. All right. So we ain't no sponsors tonight, so we're gonna get right into this show. I won't prolong it any longer. So topic for tonight, ladies, always in their feelings. Ladies just gave me a look too. As soon as I said that, they all gave me a look. So let me run it back. Ladies, always in their feelings. Let's see, before we get into this, thinking y'all to respond. The man in a uniform. Okay, we know he's working. Okay. That was a nice, safe answer. That was a nice safe answer right there.
We like that too.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I definitely have heard that one before from the ladies. All right, so let's get into this. So I got a video for tonight to provide a little context. What you say, Donovan? They are emotional creatures by nature. Yeah, you know what, Donovan? We're going to talk about that, man. We're going to talk about that. All right, so I got a video for tonight. Oh, my bad. I'm slipping again. Let me do this real fast. All right, so here's the link to the panel. Anybody who wants to join us on the panel, like I said, drop this link in your browser. You can join us live on the panel. We always encourage you to keep your camera on and cam up with us. But if you're scared, you can always turn your camera off. But let's say just drop that in your browser. You can join us on the panel. And let's say it makes for better conversation, better engagement. So I'll leave that up here for a little bit. We've also got it in all the chat feeds, so you can catch it on the Quay Price page in the chat, Candid Konvos page on Facebook and on YouTube. So that link is in each one of the chats. At least it should be. So drop it in and join us on the panel. I'm gonna pull it down out the feed for a minute, and we can get on into this. All right, let's see what we got. Do the window.
Okay, we don't have volume on our end.
What is going on? I don't understand. Hey, hold on. Yeah, excuse my technical difficulties. I don't know what is going on with my little audio tonight. Let me try this again.
At all. So the first one, I find that a lot of women, based off of the emotions that they're feeling, especially specifically the negative emotions that they're feeling, feelings of fear of abandonment, fear of loneliness, feeling of being unworthy, insecurities, jealousy, whatever. Oftentimes these emotions can self-sabotage a relationship because a man might come to his woman with a concern. I'll give you an example. It might be something as simple as, hey, I want you to work on your diet. I want you to work on getting in better shape or something. And instead of hearing that and thinking, okay, well, this is something that I can do to improve our relationship, and allowing that discussion to be about what can be done about her diet and physique. Like, well, I can maybe exercise 10 minutes before I go to sleep, or maybe I can just cut out all the white food products and switching for brown food products or whatever. Like, instead of any type of solution, it automatically goes to victim mode, defense mode, lawyer mode. It automatically goes to, well, he doesn't find me attractive anymore. He's looking at other women. He doesn't want me anymore. He's going to leave me. And that causes this fight or flight response where now the conversation just turns into something completely different, right? And then it doesn't stop there. Usually what a man will do, I find, is that, well, he'll try to help bring her back to reality and pull her out of those negative emotions. Like, oh no, I do want you, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing this for you, that for you, that for you. And then her emotions come up again. It's like, oh, why are you keeping tabs on everything you do for me? Because I don't do that to you. It is, so there's even more of the emotion, and all of that is kind of self-sabotaging, because now he has to try to use his logic to hold the relationship together. And I find that that is often the case. A lot of women feel like, well, his lack of emotional support, of his lack of, just caring for how I feel, that's what ends the relationship. And sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes it's the man's logic and his ability to deal in reality and not just the negative feelings. That's what's holding the relationship together, because now he has to try to show her, like, no, I want you. I just want you to want me enough to care about my satisfaction and to care about what I desire, So from this piece, do you find that happens? Like, as a man, I'm sure that can be frustrating, but being logical, and your logic is what's kind of like holding the relationship together. And so because you're trying to get her to be in reality and be open to like a realistic perspective, it kind of makes you almost dismiss how she's feeling in the moment, just to get her to, this is what's really happening.
Yeah. It can be challenging.
Okay.
Certain. Definitely challenging. To say that we dismiss the feelings, may be strong.
Okay.
But I can't necessarily disagree with it. It's just that just because a person is feeling something does not mean that it's rooted in reality. You know what I mean? Like what you're saying in that example, if a brother says, hey, I'd like for you to just work out a little bit more, and she immediately turns that into, oh, well, he may be looking at other women, or he's not attracted to me, or this, that, and the third. Now, she can be feeling that in the moment, right? But that does not mean that that's what he's feeling, And so a lot of times we say, oh, my feelings are valid. Well, not always. Let's just be, not all the time, And so, that can be a bit challenging in that situation. We just try to get back to the reality of it. A brother may say, well, I'm with you. And if I did not want you in that way, I wouldn't have made this suggestion. If I wanted somebody else, I would have let you continue on whatever dietary path you're on. and I just would have went the opposite direction. And so a lot of times being able to tap back into the reality or pull her back into the reality would help her to see. And he lists, you know, he may list a couple things. Hey, remember I did this or that's it, you know, whatever. Just to try to bring her back into the reality of, hey, I'm with you. I want to be with you.
Right.
I just want you to work out something. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So that's the context video for tonight for the topic. Ladies always in their feelings. All right. So shout out to the couple in the video. I think it was great context, great conversation. It's a long conversation. I just wanted to pull out a piece of it because I know we don't have that type of time. But I said shout out to Sarah Lena, I think that's her name, who produced that video. But yeah, so the young lady is talking about emotional intelligence in women, and these feelings and all of this other stuff that is wrapped up in there. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This video caught me off guard a little bit because that's not what I hear. What I hear is men are the ones who lack all of this emotional intelligence. That's what I always hear. I even see a lot of these ladies on these little dating shows talking about, yeah, I need a man with emotional intelligence. So to hear this young lady on this video, you know, along with her husband right here, talking about it's actually ladies lacking emotional intelligence. Yeah, we got to talk about it. So I want to get into this convo. I said, shout out to everybody joining us. You know, we got a special guest. Let me do this real quick. This one's special right here. Shout out to the Williams family right now. Shout out to Remy. I saw them little hands pop up there. Shout out to Remy Williams. I said she checking in. I said we be trying to get her to come on this show. I appreciate you checking in with us tonight.
That's right. We need you on the panel.
For sure. But I said appreciate that. Appreciate you checking in. All right, so let's get into this conversation. I'm gonna go to the ladies first on this one because I got some things to say, but I'm gonna kick it off. So Chloe, what you thinking? What you think about this video? What you seeing?
I mean, I agree. I think it was nice to see the male-female dynamic have the conversation together, because in order for us to get to the bottom of this particular problem or issue, you have to have both sides. Right. You have to have both sides, right? Like, I think as women, we have to understand. Hey, Nina. I think we have to understand that just because we feel something, because like Donovan said earlier, you know, we are emotional by nature. We are, right? But I think that's why it's even more important for us to have emotional intelligence, because we literally are emotional creatures by nature, right? So it doesn't do any good for us to not to understand the differences between how we respond in terms of emotion and how men see emotion, right? And we kind of touched on it in last week's show. And I think the biggest thing I want to say, ladies, is that just because you feel something doesn't mean it's true. And I think that as it would serve us well as women to understand that just every feeling that we have is not rooted in truth. You know, sometimes we can have that little voice in our head. It could be our time of the month. You know, we could have just had a bad day. It could be all of these other things, outside things that are manipulating and influencing our emotions. So just because we feel something doesn't mean that it's true. So a man says something like the example that she used about our weight or about our diet, and we are automatically in our feelings. But at the end of the day, just because we're offended doesn't mean that his intention was to offend or that what he said was actually offensive. It doesn't make it true, right? We need to examine the feeling, right? We need to examine the root of that. So why am I offended by somebody that I love saying, hey, I want you to just be more mindful of your diet? Like, you know, I've been noticing, you know, you've been kind of eating kind of crappy lately, and that's not typical for you. So like, you know, what's going on? You know, I want you to be careful with that because you know how that goes, right? Like, the first thought shouldn't be he's trying to offend me. If a man's role is to protect and provide, then that is part of his protection. And you can't say that you want a man to protect you, and then when he goes to do that, you're offended by how he does it. Like, we don't get to determine how a man should protect us. And I think we want, as women, sometimes I think we want too much control over how our men behave in our relationships. And that doesn't work, because if they're leaders, then we're not going to have control over the way that they conduct themselves in our relationships. That defeats the purpose of them being our covering, of them being the leaders in the relationship. So I just go ahead.
You said, so you said the ladies want to have control over how the relationship goes. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is what I'm seeing. I feel like we want to sometimes control how a man communicates with us, how he responds when we're communicating with him. We want to control the way he behaves, essentially, in the relationship, because once again, we're emotional, right? So we're reading all of these different things into his communication. And so we're like, well, this will be all fixed if you just do this the way I need you to do it. And that's not correct. That's actually not fixing anything, because your man shouldn't have to be more emotional to be able to communicate with you. There's no balance. The man needs to be who he is. A man is bringing the parts of us that we don't have. That's the point. We balance each other out. So if I'm more emotional as a woman and a man just is more analytical and more logical in nature, then we're going to balance each other out. Because there are times when just naturally, physiologically, my emotions are going to be kind of like this. And so I'm not going to, even I recognize that I can't even always trust my own emotions. So you need that man to come in with that voice of reason sometimes, like, wait, like this, let's bring this down a bit. And if we are now wanting to control that piece, then there's just no balance. So when we talk about emotional intelligence, that's not a conversation that needs to be directed at somebody else. When you're talking about emotional intelligence, that's something that you need to be running across your own personal self, analyzation. Like, am I emotionally intelligent? Because you may have someone who is emotionally intelligent. They're very aware emotionally, and they know how to manage their emotions, and they may even know how to manage yours. But if you are not emotionally intelligent, then it's going to appear as though that other person is not emotionally intelligent, because you're running it across your broken filter.
Yeah, I wonder how many and I appreciate you giving your feedback on that. I wonder how many women understand that part, right? Because I see a lot of conversation, like I mentioned earlier, you got these online dating shows out here now, the Kendra singles and all of this stuff that's going on. Listen, I hear a lot of ladies saying stuff like that. I need my man to be more emotional. And I'm like, I'm wondering, do ladies understand that there's a concept of balance that is needed in a relationship? Yep. And sometimes when we're asking these men for all of these emotions, do we realize that can throw off the natural balance of a man and a woman being in a union or being together? Because at the end of the day, you know, it is not a mistake or a shortcoming that a man is logical. Yeah, it's not a fault because a man does not always apply emotions to a situation. Yeah, but sometimes I wonder, are we shooting ourselves in the foot because we've adopted some of these mindsets that are really behind the reason why we can't find the right mates or can't get into sustainable and long lasting relationships. Let me get this comment. Kenyatta said women can't look at it as control. Yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, you know, this ties back to the point I just made about these mindsets. Like I said, we're seeing, you know, increasing numbers of single folks out here right now. And like I said, I can tell a lot of it is because of a lot of these things that we've adopted or essentially adapted to. And that is a big problem as to why we can't sync up. Because I said, we're not even looking at things the right way. Yeah, like I said, when a man is playing his position properly, you definitely gonna see logical thinking. You're definitely gonna see analytical thinking. Like you're definitely gonna see strategic thinking, strategic planning. You know, you're definitely gonna see solutions being offered. Like that's what men do. That's what leadership looks like. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, when one of the young ladies is emotional and she got a couple tears or something running, she probably ain't running to somebody emotional. Let's think about that. Yeah, she's not running to somebody else emotional. Let's say she's looking for that balance at that point. Yeah, so I think we got to keep some of this stuff in mind. This some of this stuff is our problem, but I got more to say. But I'm gonna swing over to Vince real quick. Vince, what you thinking, man?
I think that also as men, we have to use our wisdom and understand our women and how
Facts.
to control our own emotions to get to a solution. I think a lot of times when we've grown up in chaotic situations, we've grown up, especially with this single culture, we've grown up with a lot of emotional women, men as well, and we haven't learned to use our wisdom to come to a resolution with these emotions, and we have to just learn conflict resolution in a lot of instances. As far as the women being emotional, we have to understand and also understand how can we get the answer that we want, the answer that's needed. As far as the weight, you have to as far as the guy asking his wife about her weight or something like that, you have to use your wisdom on how to get the result that you want. It might just be something like, come on, babe, let's go to the gym together. Not necessarily something is wrong with your weight, but just, to get the result that you want. Because even with when me and my wife first started dating, she didn't like the fact that I dyed my beard. Even though I love to dye my beard, I wanted to look younger, whatever. But she said, "You know what, babe? I just like your gray. I think the gray is so sexy. It looks, it looks like you have wisdom. So it's a certain way that you can speak with someone, So
Okay, I feel that. I can understand that, man.
yeah, you
I'm
young,
act-
you ain't got to dye your hair yet.
You know,
You still naturally black.
I knew he's gonna take that at me, man. I knew. So I do got a question. I'm gonna go back to this example that the young lady in the video gave up. I said, shout out to everybody joining us. Appreciate all the comments that you guys are dropping. We got a new comment. Let's see. Remy Williams said, but I was in the gym trying to keep up with you. Okay, she called you right out on that, Vince. She called you right out. She said she was right there. All right, no, we appreciate that, Remy. We appreciate that. But I do got a question. Listen, this is just based off of the video, that we saw and the example that the young lady gave about this working out and this weight and so forth. I want a young lady to keep it real with me. Why is it when a man says something like that to a woman doesn't instantly trigger her feelings? And the reason I ask that is because, listen, this is a conversation that's come up before on the show. Me and Vince have talked about this or brought this up before. A lot of men, we're raised getting critiqued. Like, men start out as young boys getting critiqued. If it be height, if it be weight, as you get older, it turns into your size of your toolbox. I mean, it's always something. Your money, your education, your haircuts, all of that. So I really want to understand, why do women get so triggered when a man speaks about her weight or her working out? And just to add a caveat to that, especially if it's her man saying it, what's the triggering about? I'm just curious. Anybody can answer that one for me.
Get Kenyatta, and then I'll add in.
All right. So Kenyatta comments. She said it depends on the delivery as well. All right, go ahead, Chloe.
Yeah, I think the delivery matters. I mean, it's always, how you say something as opposed to what you said. However, I will say this. I don't know if there is, and I'm just listen, ladies, I can't speak for every lady. I'm clearly speaking in general, but I don't know if there's a right way for a man to say something about your weight.
Oh.
I'm just gonna be honest. Even if he says, hey, let's go to the gym, right? Like, I'm just trying to get y'all to understand, like, as women being emotionally led creatures, are we going to be able to just take that at face value and say, oh, you want me to go to the gym with him? Okay, yeah, I want to go to the gym with you. Are we going to be able to just take that at face value? Or are we as women going to do what we do? Are we going to take that thing and overanalyze it and, oh, did he think I'm fat? I mean, why he asking me to go to, he asked me to go to the gym before. Like, now you want me to go to the gym. Why you want me to go to the gym with him today? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, I'm being honest. Like, as women, we absolutely have the ability to go there really quick. We really do. Just like she said in the video. Then we start talking. Then he starts saying, "Well, no, I ain't even talking about that. I lost." And then we start getting on what he say to explain himself. Then that becomes a problem. And the truth is, I'm sure not every woman does this. I'm just simply saying that there are women who do. We have the ability to do this because it's coming from an internal place in us. If we already have any kind of insecurity, if we already know that maybe we gained a couple pounds and maybe we're probably already a little uncomfortable with the fact that we gained a couple pounds, and we know we should probably change habits or get back in the gym. We just haven't done that yet. And then somebody who we love comes along and says, okay, we love you, so we respect your opinion. So then you come along and you say something about that thing. Then we go, oh, he must think the same thing. Oh, so he think I'm fat too. Or, he noticed my weight. Or, now we're going to be thinking, oh, dang, do he still find me attractive? I mean, he's saying something about my weight. I mean, I know I did gain a couple of pounds. And then here come the insecurities, right? So I think that it's, I mean, and when we just said it, sometimes we can be defensive. Like so it might not even be that he said it wrong, right? It might not even be that he could have said it better. It's just, it really wouldn't matter how you said it. Like we just.
So wait a minute.
I
So
mean,
what
I'm
is
just
okay?
saying.
No, I appreciate it.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
Okay, so what? So what is a man? I said, shout out to Remy. Like I said, she said sometimes we're just defensive. So Remy, where is this defensiveness coming from? Especially if this is your man. What's all this defensiveness? I say, because at the end of the day, right? So, back to the original topic, we're talking about emotional intelligence, right? What is a man supposed to do with this? Like, so the ladies will tell men, you know what I'm saying? I want you to, you don't never say nothing. You don't never speak up. So then the man speaks up and then he got to catch the defense. What's the man supposed to do?
I just have to keep being, so my only thing is you guys have to continue to be who you are. You have to continue to be logical. And just like she said in the video, you guys have to do the best that you can to walk us through this, right? Like we can learn, and it may require patience. Like you guys, I think you knowing how we communicate and how we receive communication, and then us also understanding how you guys communicate and how you receive communication will help us get to the point where we can understand each other a little bit better. So you'll be able to recognize when your significant other is going to that place. Like when that girl is going, you can see her going there and you're like, oh, she's not okay. She's not receiving what I said well, or, I can see the wheels and, spinning in her head. Let me try to talk her down off the ledge. Right. And I think if you care enough, you'll take the time to learn that person and understand that that's how they work. And then you'll understand also how to communicate with them and how to help balance that out. I mean, honestly, unless you're someone who is self-aware enough to say, I'm struggling with this, and go maybe see a counselor or a consultant or something like that, then I don't know. I feel like in relationships is one of the best ways for you to learn emotional intelligence, because you have someone else to help bring this stuff out of you, right? If you're by yourself, you're single, unless you have a friend that will kind of be that voice of reason for you, then who's going to tell you when you're tripping like that? So I almost feel like being in a relationship is a good place to work through these types of things, because you're with someone you trust, you should be at least, and you're with someone you love and care about, you should be at least. And so you trust this person to be able to tell you the truth and guide you through that, right? So I feel like being in a relationship is the best place to work through this emotional intelligence thing. So that's why somebody's saying, hey, on a dating app, I want somebody that's emotionally intelligent. I'm not saying you can't find that, because maybe somebody has already done the work previously before you, but I feel like that's tough, right? Because unless you've had people around you who are also self-aware and can know how to help walk you through that in our relationships, that's kind of, we grow the most in relationships. We grow through relationships, and God uses the people around us to grow us and mature us and progress us. So for you to say, I want somebody that's already prepackaged with emotional intelligence, it's kind of like you might want to adjust that a little bit, because how do you even know that you've evolved to a point where you're emotionally intelligent?
Yeah, no, that's valid right there. You get this comment. Remy Williams said, I'm a work in progress. So happy Vince understands me. Communication definitely helps. For sure. Man, you getting all type of kudos on here, Vince, man. Did you set this up, man?
Actually, no, I didn't. No, I don't. I have, my wife is my support system, so she supports me.
No, I see it, man. Shout out to the Williams clan over here, man.
And she probably would be on here, but we do have a 2-year-old.
That's
I understand.
right.
2-year-old one upstairs.
I understand. I know who the boss over there, man.
Yeah. But in regards to this also, I think also that and I'm just gonna keep it 100. That's what I'm on the show for. I think that the society has told black women especially that they don't have to work for their man. They can give him anything and bring anything to him and it'll be okay. You know, you can be overweight, you don't have to cook, you don't have to clean. All you gotta do is have a PhD and have a job. I hear more women, they want these certain type of men, but why I have to do that? Why I have to go to the gym? Why I have to cook? Why I have to clean? Why I have to do this? Because that's what he requires. I go to the
Simple.
gym at least 4 times a week, and you know what? And you know what's in there? Caucasian women,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and a few sisters every now and again. And
Interesting.
and I think sometimes they feel like I don't have to, so what? I'm fat. So what? So what? I don't cook. You should be happy just to be with me. And that's why they get these lesser men who probably are happy, but the men that they want require something.
Right.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. And see, men understand that. Men understand if I want a 10, gotta have some paper. I gotta have a mouthpiece. I gotta do something that's gonna attract that type of woman.
Right.
You rarely see a broke fat man with a beautiful woman or an attractive woman. You just don't see it because first of all he knows he don't qualify for her, so he don't even try to go there. He just go get somebody that's average. So I think that has a lot to do with it too. You know, and women want to say, "Oh, well, I don't have time," and women find people in general find time to do whatever they want to do.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, I agree with that, man. That's an interesting point that you made, man. Shout out to Wizzy and Lynette as well. She said he got a point right after childbirth to be walking the babies at the gym. Um, that's an interesting point that you just made, Vince. I gotta say that, man. Interesting observation. Um, yeah, that tells me that tells me something, man. That tells me something. Let me also get this other comment from Woodsy. She said, "Tell me what makes you emotionally intelligent." Huh?
They don't
Any,
know.
anybody want to take this one?
They don't
I
know.
I think being aware, being in the moment, being understanding your surroundings, understanding and being able to express your feelings. I think that's emotional intelligence.
I agree. And I would expand on that and say the reason why I said they don't know is I think a lot of people who are asking for emotional intelligence don't know themselves exactly what it means to be emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, now I'll just add this piece, to answer her question directly. For me, emotional intelligence is keeping your emotions in check and knowing when it is time to be emotional. Yeah, there are situations where emotions are called for, right? There are situations when emotions are not called for. And that is my view on emotional intelligence. And what we see a lot of now is folks are getting those things mixed up. Yeah, we seeing the emotions at the wrong time. Somebody breaking in the house, somebody getting emotional. That's not the time to get emotional. That's the time to be logical and come up with a solution to somebody breaking in the house. Yeah, so that's it's really about being able to know when to apply or leverage your emotions in the correct situations and environments. So that's what I'm looking at, just to answer that question. Let me get this next comment. Kenyatta, she said, I agree. Women will say he needs to take me as I am. Ooh, wee. She said, no, sis, you have to put in work in the relationship too. You know what, Kenyatta, you just dropped a whole gem right there. You got so much of that. He needs to take me as I am going on out here. And I'm just like, whatever happened to just being the best version of yourself? Yeah, like take the other person out of the equation. What happened to just being the best version or working to be the best version of yourself? Because see, when somebody says take me as I am, that's a settle. Yeah, that's you telling me or conveying to me that you're not even willing to put in no work to improve yourself to be the best version of yourself. But I appreciate you dropping this comment because I hear this a lot these days. Take me as I am or accept me as I am. So I appreciate you dropping that one. And then shout out to Woodsy. But yeah, no. Like I said, I think this is, a needed conversation because like I said, these emotions are running rampant these days, right? We got a lot, to your point, Vince, I think you made this point earlier. We got a lot of emotional fellas out here, just moving or leading with this emotion. And it's like, that is not what we are supposed to be doing. We are supposed to come and bring the balance, the logic. So the logical thinking, the analytical thinking, we're supposed to bring the stability. Yeah, so we really can't be out here on the emotional thing, getting all in our feelings when it's time to handle some business and take care of something for the family and cover the family. Yeah, that don't cut it right there. But I wanna ask one more question. So I know we're getting close to 9:30. You might try to keep on time, but we'll see. I want to ask another question. This for the ladies. So we got a lot of ladies on here, so I'm about to get all this information up out of y'all tonight. So my question is to the ladies. Do ladies use the fact that they are emotional creatures as an excuse? I really don't want to know what your thoughts are on that is, because the reason I'm asking that question is once again, I'm in a lot of these conversations and I hear that a lot. I will see ladies do something that is out of pocket, but then the response to it will be, well, I'm emotional. And my question to that is, so do you already know that what you just did was out of pocket, but you just use being emotional as your excuse or your cover up or your pass to do something out of pocket?
I think so.
Okay, somebody kept it a buck. There we go. Somebody kept it a buck.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think some women do.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get this comment. Remy said, "Not me. I take accountability."
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Vince, what you say about this, man? I want to see what Vince gonna say. What you say about this?
She does take accountability. She does take accountability. She is correct, but she's emotional sometimes. But the thing about us is that I know that, so sometimes I'll just give her a moment. And see, that's what we sometimes us as men we have to do. We have to give them a moment.
Facts.
Let them go all off and crazy, and just be like, I'm about to go upstairs for a minute and watch some TV, and give them time to think. Think about it and be like, you know what, I really, and then you can have the conversation. Because when you all in your emotions, you get sidetracked. Stop. Sometimes as men, we need, and that's what I had to learn, which is so hard for me because one thing about being emotionally intelligent, you understand who you are, and I understand because I was raised around a bunch of women. I am very chatty as a man. I am. I know it. I work on it. So I have to understand. Sometimes you just have to be quiet.
Okay, I feel that.
And it's working.
I mean, but that's what I was saying earlier. Like, you guys have to stick to your guns. Like, to me, that is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence to me, this is my personal POV. Like, emotional intelligence to me does not look like you've arrived. Emotional intelligence to me looks like a journey, right? It looks like you're always learning, right? You're learning yourself. So you're like, oh, like the fact that you're willing to give your wife, as men, all men should do, a moment, right? And she thinks about it and goes, oh, okay, maybe I could have handled that differently, or maybe I didn't have to do it that way. I'm the same way. Like I'll go back and think about it and go, oh, I didn't do that right. And then I'll have to come back and say, oh, I shouldn't have said it that way. I shouldn't have done that, because I'm somebody who likes to try to always kind of think, like rethink. I'm always kind of doing the self check. But that's the learned behavior. That wasn't automatic. I had to learn how to get there where I go, wait, did I do that right? I do it with my kids, I do it with my husband, like, because I feel like emotional intelligence is a constant thing. Like you're always working towards it. It's not like it's a marathon, you know. So I feel like it's not like people going around saying, oh, I'm emotionally intelligent. It's like, is this like a destination, emotional intelligence? Like, isn't it something that's always living? Like, because you can be emotional intelligent in one situation and then be way off in the other. So I don't feel like it's a destination. I feel like it's a journey. Like you're always kind of on this trip. Um, and I think that, yeah, it does start with taking it, but it does having or taking accountability is a part of that, right? Like, and women just want to say, oh, I'm emotional, and they just kind of, I'm emotional, period. Like that should answer the question. um I don't know how you could say I'm emotional and then leave it at that, right? And then say, but I'm emotionally intelligent.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly what happens. The emotional statement comes out and then there's no change or anything behind it. So let me get this comment from Kenyatta. She said, yes, it's easier for some. We as women must be accountable and responsible instead of using our emotions as an excuse. And yeah, no, I agree with that, Kenyatta, for sure. I agree with that. Okay.
Mhm.
We making good time tonight. Making good time tonight. Good time tonight. Yeah, no. Like I said, because I won't hold us too long tonight. Yeah, I wanted to have this conversation because, like I said, as always, we're always talking about or discussing topics that are in between, or reasons why we can't seem to come together or connect, or we have these breaks, in our relationship. Of course, in 2022, this term of emotional intelligence is running rampant. Everybody is looking forward or looking for it. The ladies are saying the men don't have it. The young lady in the video said the women are lacking in that department. So we just have this continual conflict that exists. But I'm just, it's becoming very clear and apparent that a lot of these issues are all coming back or pointing back to accountability. Yep, and that just seems to be at the root of multiple issues that we're having. I don't know, Vince. Let me ask you this, man. Let's say this topic or this topic of accountability has come up a few times on the show. Is it even possible to get folks or convince folks to take accountability for any of these problems?
Accountability has become kryptonite.
Yeah.
It's just almost impossible to get people to take accountability, because I think taking accountability means change.
Right.
Once you've taken accountability for it, then you have a responsibility for it. If you never take accountability for it, then there's no responsibility. I don't know
Right.
what verse is that in the Bible, that says, once you know better, you have to do better. It's a verse. I don't know. Maybe I'll bring it next week, but it's like once you know better, then you're accountable to do better. Then it's your responsibility to do better. So I think that taking accountability, people would rather not take accountability because they don't want to change. People,
Man,
I think people want to feel better, not do better.
facts. Yeah, you know what? I gotta agree with you on that, man. I like how you just said that. I think that's what a lot of what we're seeing. Yeah, folks literally just want to feel a certain way. Yeah, if it be visual, if it be, how this surgery make me feel, how this like everything is just is surface level. Um, so yeah, I like how you said that, man, because that's a lot of what we seeing today, man. Everybody worried about how something feel. Yeah, making all type of horrible decisions just based on how something feels in the moment at that. Yeah, not even long term, not even sustainable, none of that. Just literally in the moment. People literally making decisions that will change their life for the worse for in the moment feeling. Yeah, no, it's wild out here. All right, well, like I said, we'll keep it on time tonight. We're gonna start wrapping into some close. Kenyatta said the illusion of it all. Yeah, Kenyatta, there's definitely a lot of illusion going on, and it's a lot of delusional people out here these days. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. I don't know, Chloe, you got anything you want to say in closing before we get ready to get out of here?
Yeah, I'll keep it. I mean, I'll keep it short. I mean, I think this topic is pretty. It's an important topic. Uh, it's but it's pretty straightforward, I think. And it just all comes back to just being self-aware. I don't know how you can be emotionally intelligent if you are not self-aware. The two go together, right? If you are not willing to take any kind of accountability, how can you be emotionally intelligent? You have to be willing to take accountability, because once you understand your emotions, once you understand how you react in situations, how you can react in situations, what's appropriate, what's inappropriate, that means you're self-aware, right? Once you understand that, then you can take accountability for your actions, because they're not going to always be right. There's no way you're always going to be right. So once you get to that point, then you can now be at a point where you know, are emotionally intelligent, because you have to be able to be self aware. You have to be willing to take accountability. You have to be able to do both of those things in order to be emotionally intelligent. If you are not willing to do either one of those things, or one but not the other, then how are you going to actually be emotionally intelligent? So all of these women running around here talking about, I'm emotionally intelligent, so I need a man who's emotionally intelligent. But then the next thing out of their mouth will be like, well, I don't know why. And I'm speaking of the dating apps because, they're all over there talking about what they want out of a man. And this is some of the repeat stuff, the repetitive things that are coming out of their mouths. And then they'll talk about, well, I got 4 kids and 4 baby daddies.
Yeah. Yep,
And it's
that's
just
real.
like, I mean, it's one thing to learn from it, sis, learn from it. But then it don't be like, oh, I did this and man, I shouldn't have been doing that like that. I was tripping. They don't say that. That's not what they say. They don't take no accountability for the fact that, okay, that probably wasn't the best way to do that. Right. So how you gonna, and then she'll be like, well, what do you want? Oh, I need somebody emotionally intelligent. Sis, you ain't did the work. How you asking for a man to be emotionally intelligent? Vince say this all the time. How you ask for something you not even willing to provide? How you gonna ask somebody to be emotionally intelligent and you're not emotionally intelligent? So for me, I always want to urge people to do the work. Like, we over here working. I'm a work in progress. Just like Remy said, nobody over here has it all figured out. But that's the point. Not knowing, I mean, understanding that you don't have it all figured out, but that you're willing to do the work. If you have not come to that conclusion yet in your life that you still need work, then you're not ready.
There it is. There it is. Vince, you got anything you want to say in closing, brother?
Yeah, I just thought about something else. I think emotional intelligence also has to come from a place of honesty and truth. I think a lot of these women are saying they want men to be emotionally intelligent, which means they want you to be honest. They want you to be truthful. And I think that's the first thing we need to do is be honest with who we are, first of all. You got to be honest with who you are and what you want and be able to communicate that. You have to be truthful. You know, you have to be truthful and understanding that maybe you've come from horrible relationships and you just have an issue with trusting somebody. Communicate that. Don't act like it's something else. You know, you may be gotten hurt in your past. Communicate that. But I know as men, we have a, a harder time with expressing our emotions because a lot of times, you know, we feel like we are not being heard. So a lot of times I think that's why we don't say much because we feel like we're not really being heard.
Right.
So I think coming from emotional intelligence, coming from a place of honesty and truth. And I think if we come from a place of honesty and truth and know that we've all made mistakes, we've all come short, but we want to try to come together, I think that we would do better in relationships. Just like I tell a lot of the older women that I talk to, and sometimes they want to talk about relationships, that you have to really be able to explain yourself. You know, if you're 40 years old and you've been divorced 2 or 3 times, you got a couple baby daddies, you got to explain yourself to the type of man you want. It can't just be, oh well, he wasn't this. What did you do? You know, what did you do? You got two ex husbands. Some people can't get one husband. You got two, three baby daddies. You know, 500 You gotta be able, and we gotta be able to explain ourselves too. And I think that's emotional intelligence to be able to come to a point where, look, I gotta understand what the things that I bring to the table. You ever talk about bringing something to the table? Bring your story, bring your truthful story to the table. That's what you need to bring to the table, and then you might have a shot.
There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Now we appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this before we get out of here. I'm gonna say this to the ladies, just on some observation from that video, right? Ladies, don't run your feelings or your emotions across what your man is saying. That's where some of y'all be going wrong. Yeah, if your man say that the sky is red, don't run your feelings across it and come up with burgundy and maroon. Don't do none of that. He said it's red. Straight like that, it's red. If your man say, babe, I'm about to go hit this gym. Why don't you come with me? Let's get hit these plates real fast. Let's get this sweat on real quick. Don't start running your emotions across what he just said, trying to come up with what's his ulterior motive and all. That's where y'all be going wrong. You ain't got to do all that. A lot of times, dude gonna give it to you straight like that. This is what it is. Yeah, but y'all want to layer that and run it across your emotions and what your last 2 boyfriends did to you and what your 3 ex-husbands ago did to you. Don't do none of that. Yeah, if your man is telling you what it is, just listen to your man and take it for what it is. Let me get this comment. Let's see. Woo, this is true. My hubby calls me out. You said this, but did this. Help me understand. You know what? Let me go and respond to this comment. Fellas, go and call them out. Stand firm. Yep, call them out. I said it, Woodsy. Call them out. Yeah, shout out to my guy P. He know who he is. Shout out to P. All right. So, man, well, I said we appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Let's say shout out to all the ladies in the comments. Shout out to Woodsy, Kenyatta, Remy. Shout out to my guy Donovan. I said we got a lot of comments. Shout out to Nina, dropping comments as well. I said we appreciate you, ladies and fellas, supporting us on the show every Wednesday night. Like I said, this is Kandid Konvos. Once again, we do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. So definitely go like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow our subscriber base and help us grow our exposure. So we're trying to get these great conversations to as many of our people as possible. You know, that is one thing that our community struggles with. It struggles with communication and talking to one another. Yeah, we stay so busy and wrapped up bucking with each other, fighting, arguing, pointing fingers, not taking accountability, being emotional, doing all of the stuff that we do. And it makes it so hard for us to come together and do the simplest things. Well, like I said, on this platform, we're going to start with conversations, talking amongst each other, bringing all of our perspectives to the table, young and old, male and female, whoever it is. It's different experience levels. It doesn't matter. I want it all here on the platform so we can hash these things out and help all of us move forward and change our trajectories. So, man, with that being said, catch us next Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Man, and for everybody who joined us tonight, everybody have an awesome night, and we will catch you guys next Wednesday.